And good evening. It's 10:38 p.m. here on the Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast. Welcome to another 2020 election update with Cultural Connections. My name is Brian Ives, and I am the producer of Cultural Connections. We are coming on here live with some more up-to-date information. If you are just joining us, we are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and I am just about to go live on Instagram. So please allow me to bring in our Instagram users as well. So give me just one moment for that. And to our Instagram users that are just coming on, welcome to our to Cultural Connections 2020 election special update. It is 10:39 p.m. here on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, and we are now live on all of our devices. We are live on Facebook, we are live on Twitter, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Instagram. For our followers that would like to interact with me, please stay on Instagram. If you would like, you can follow us on Instagram at Cultural Connections 29. I will be able to check our Instagram feed more often. I'm also on here on Instagram. For those watching on Instagram, I'm going to be sharing my screen here on through Zoom technology momentarily, and I will turn my phone around so you can see the screen of what is on the screen here on my computer as I work through it. As unfortunately, that's the only easy way for me to do that. So without further ado, let's get started here. And I'm going to actually turn you now over to my computer screen. All right, so you can sort of see that. And if you have problems seeing that, let me know. I'm going to share my screen here. And we're going to start again with updates here, again with our 2020 election special. Here we go. Again, the states we talked about this earlier to watch for. These states continue to be Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona and Georgia. Those are still the states that we are watching right now. They continue to be watched for. We can only take out two states right now out of that wild card, and I think we're also going to take out a third. Those three states that I'm going to predict right now are Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona officially. So we're going to take those three states out of the playing field right now, and those three states have officially gone to Joe Biden for president. Let's take a look in here. This is early. This is from yesterday, courtesy of 270 to win, giving you an idea of the electoral map. Let's just take a look at this for a minute, and I'll explain some things to you on where things stand. Okay, as we know, President Trump took the state of Ohio. He also took the states of Florida. So he gains those votes there. I'm going to actually get online in a minute to show you an actual interactive way that I can do this through the same site. So bear with me for a few minutes and you'll actually get to see that. But let's show you our projections as of right now. We can safely project that Joe Biden has won Massachusetts. We can project that Joe Biden has won Maryland. We can project that Vice President Biden has won Maine and its first district. President Trump taking the second district. We can project that Joe Biden will win Vermont. We can project that Vice President Biden will win Virginia. We can project that Vice President Joe Biden will win the state of New York. We can project that Vice President Biden will win the state of New Jersey. We can project that Vice President Biden will win the state of Delaware. We can project that Vice President Joe Biden will win Washington, D.C. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Oklahoma. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Kentucky. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Arkansas. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Mississippi. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Louisiana. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Alabama. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Wyoming. We can project that Donald Trump will win the state of North and South Dakota. We can project that President Trump will win West Virginia, even though there we go, that says West Virginia. We can project that President Trump will win the state of Idaho. We can project that President Trump will win Utah. We can project that President Trump will win Nebraska. We can project that President Trump will win Illinois. That Joe Biden will win Illinois. We can project that Vice President Biden will win Minnesota. We can project that Vice President Biden will win Colorado. We can project that Vice President Biden will win New Mexico. We can project that Vice President Biden will win Oregon. We can project that Vice President Biden will win Washington. We can project that Vice President Biden will win Hawaii. We will project that also Vice President Biden will take the biggest prize of them all tonight from the election, California. We will project that Vice President Biden also will take the state of Michigan. We will also project that Vice President Biden will take this pivotal battleground state of Wisconsin. We are also projecting that Vice President Biden will take the state of Arizona as well. We can also project that Vice President Biden will take New Hampshire. We can also project that President Trump will take the state of Florida and the state of Texas. So what's left of the states that are too close to call? Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. And again, these are states. Nevada is leaning in a Democrat direction. That's why I put that. And Alaska, which is leaning in a Republican way, but it's still too early to call. Alaska has very slow votes coming in, so that's why we are unable to call Alaska at this time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute to pull up my information for the graphics that I'd like to show you next that we're going to get into. So allow me to do this in 1 second. To our Instagram users, you're getting a early preview on this. Give me just a moment to our users on our other platform here. Okay. So, and that is not, hold on, we're having some technicality here. Let me reshare that again because I went on to the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. So this is 270towin.com. This is giving us access to what currently things look like right now. Vice President Biden is up at 253 electoral votes to President Trump's 215 electoral votes. I want to bring this back to the original homepage of this site so you can get an idea of exactly what happens from here. And this is now actually more fully up to date. They have added it in, assuming Vice President Biden takes the state of Nevada and takes the state of Arizona. So with that just alone said, as you can see, Vice President Biden will become President-elect Biden with those states. If for some reason, let's say that President Trump comes back and takes the state of Arizona, again, highly unlikely at this point. What's next still to play? Let's keep it then in Nevada. Vice President Biden takes Nevada. That leaves us with Pennsylvania and Georgia. Let's say Vice President Biden takes Georgia. He gets to 270. He becomes President-elect Biden. Let's say that President Trump takes the state of the state of Georgia, and Joe Biden takes the state of Georgia. Pennsylvania. Excuse me. It's been a long day here. You can see here that once again, Vice President Biden takes the win. So there are multiple combinations here. I mean, again, the only exception here, and then we would have actually, you look here, if all the results would be in, but you would have a Biden at 279 for the Electoral College and President Trump at 259 for the Electoral College. So very close, but Biden, it does come out with being the winner. But let's look at this in a more realistic terms. I'm going to switch this back to what I think is going to be the case here. And right now, I think Biden is going to take the state of Arizona as a very big possibility. I'm also going to predict there that he's going to take the state of Pennsylvania. And I think we're going to see this too, where Vice President Biden is going to take the states of Georgia as well. This would be a huge shift to the fact where you see here that Vice President Biden becomes President-elect Biden with 306 electoral votes. And I'm going to change this here to being a full-on map here to President Trump's 232 electoral votes. That is a huge change around of things here, something that would be a blow, very big blow to President Trump. But right now, that is my early projection on exactly prediction. I should say not projection, prediction. All can lean out to the same thing, but that's what I am looking at right now. Now, what about where the numbers actually stand at this point? Let's start with Georgia at this hour. This race continues to get closer and closer and closer here in Georgia. At this hour in Georgia right now, President Trump continues to have a razor thin lead in Georgia with 2,426,877 votes to Joe Biden's 2,395,129 votes. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, how many votes does that separate? Well, I have a handy dandy notebook here, and we're going to do some long math for a minute. So bear with me for just a moment while we do the long math, and I'll tell you how many votes are separated by these two men. 2, 4, 2, 6, 8, 7, 7 minus 2, 3, 9, 5, 1, 2, 9. Okay, so how many votes? Do you want to know how many votes separate these two men? Well, let me show you the magic number on the magic piece of paper here. If I did my math correctly, to those here on Instagram, it is only 31,748 votes. For those here, I know you can't really see it because of my background here. If you are on watching this on the computer, maybe you can see my scribble here. That is again 31,748 votes. That is all that is separating these two guys here these two men, I should say, in Georgia. And I do have the prediction that I believe that Vice President Biden could possibly carry this state, assuming that the last of all these votes are mail-in votes, and that is what we are looking at predominantly. So we're going to continue to watch this closely. This is now with 97.4% of the vote in, and I think it's going to come down to the wire here. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is another highly contested race here that is coming closer and closer to another big one. Yes, wow is correct. Right now, looking at President Trump, who has 3,209,906 votes, to Joe Biden's 3,042,106. That's a very close margin, and we are at around 90% of the vote has been counted. All right, it's time to do the long math again, folks. So stand by for a second, and I'm going to give you these figures so you can see exactly how many votes separate these two men what is the difference here in these two votes. Stand by for the answer. 3,209,906. 3, 0. Okay, we have our answer. It's an easy answer here. And I'm going to start out showing this to our viewers here on Instagram. That number right there is 167,800 votes. Now you're probably asking yourself, but how does Biden? And I'm going to try to show this again here. How does Biden come back from 167,800 votes? Well, that's because there are still a lot of votes to be counted here in. Yes, well, if I will consider the Jeopardy theme for the next time. But so how do we get to the time of how do we get to how does Biden win the state of Pennsylvania? Well, let me put it to you this way right now. The fact is, if Biden continues to win the votes that are coming through, which again are predominantly mail-in votes that we know and early votes, those are predominantly Democratic votes. So it's a highly likelihood that Vice President Biden will win the state of Pennsylvania, assuming that that is the case. It is way too early to make that prediction, so I'm not going to do that at this time. Let's take a back look here and now go over to Nevada. Nevada is another state that's very contentiously being watched, and Joe Biden has extended on his lead. I think actually, you know what? These results, it continues to say that it's updated as of 10:52 p.m. I believe these are the same results. I think tomorrow morning we're expected to get results in around 9 a.m. Eastern time here in Nevada. So I expect that we'll get those results in by then, and that maybe make it so that we can call a race here in Nevada. Right now, Joe Biden leads with 588,252 votes to Donald Trump's 580,605 votes. Okay, so you're wondering how many votes separate these two men? Well, let's find that out right about now. Bear with me 1 second here, and I will tell you. 1 moment. And give me just a moment, and you will see me do the math. Okay. Okay, we have our answer here, and I'm going to go back to sharing my screen one more time here. I hope we really enjoyed of the Jeopardy music that we had. Let me go back to what I was showing before here on screen, and I'm not getting it right now. Hold on 1 moment. So you are looking at the information on what I just mentioned. Here we go. Okay. So our Instagram users, you get a first look at this with 7,646 votes separating Joe Biden from President Trump. I believe from my own standpoint here, I do believe from what we're seeing, and this is the trend here in Nevada, that those votes will be Democratic votes that come in. And I do think we're going to continue to see Joe Biden's lead extend. I think if I'm to actually look the last time I did a live video, and you know what? It is. This is from earlier this evening. That's exactly the same number, the 7,646, as you see here on Instagram. And again, that's earlier this evening. So they have not had any new results that have actually come in yet. I'm just realizing so that does change things a little bit to be talking about. I'll show Georgia, but I'm pretty certain again in calling this. I think it is almost really certain as Biden continues to extend on his lead here in the state of Arizona. And I think we're going to see this get called soon. We're just waiting for those numbers to go up a little bit further than they are now. But this would be the first time that Arizona has voted, as you can see, the Republican in every presidential election except 1996. Since 1952, Donald Trump won this state by about 4% in 2016. It's clearly not looking like that in this case right now. I also just want to pull up the state of Alaska because I think it's just important people understand here what's going on. And I do want to emphasize here that it does appear that President Trump will take this state. However, at this point in time, there is still only 50% of the vote in. That's why we cannot call the race yet. But if I was to call the race right now, it would be clearly in my mind that President Trump would take this state because of how far ahead he is. So I think likelihood is in the times to come, we will see that race will go to President Trump. I can't say any reason why it wouldn't be. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and I'm going to turn my phone back around to me so you see me for a moment. while I pull up some new data that I also wanted to show that indicates some other information. And I'm going to show NBC News here. I want to show ABC News. These are two different other outlets here that I wanted to bring in. And I just want to also check our Facebook feed to see if anyone is commenting over there. I appreciate the feedback here on Instagram. I just need to, obviously, I have to check on all of our platforms. And okay, if you would like to comment or anything, please know I do not have the ability at the moment to really be easily going back and forth with all of our social media channels. Since I am live here on Instagram, I can't actually go back and forth. So right now I am looking at Facebook, and I hope if anyone is interested, you can comment there. I'll do my best to try to respond and answer questions that come through. If I don't respond immediately, I will respond following the video in the comments. So please, if you have questions about the election, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. But again, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on Twitter or on YouTube, please leave a comment in the comments below on any of those platforms, and I will do my best following the video to answer those questions for you. Okay, without further ado, let me pull up my screen again here so you can see ABC News, which is another platform that we are looking at here, which is another reliable source in my book, and it's not allowing me to see it for some odd reason. Okay, well, we're going to try this again. What is going on here? Hold on a minute. We'll bring it up. Okay, here we go. No, it is still not wanting to share. Okay, we'll try this again. Okay, there we go. You are now seeing ABC News. That's what I was expecting to see. That's what I wanted to see here. And now we will turn around the screen here so you can see what I'm looking at. Again, this is similar to obviously what we're talking about. 253 electoral votes for Biden, 214 for for President Trump. Let's take a look here again at the numbers that they have here. And in Nevada, you can see how close that is there. But again, those numbers haven't changed, so I'm not going to focus there. In Arizona, the race, Biden continues to lead. However, Trump did add votes to his tally, but not enough to really shrink down what Biden is seeing. I do believe this race should be called by, at least by the morning, if it does not officially get called tonight. I do want to point out that it is important to understand that the race, Arizona, was called by the Associated Press along with Fox News. So the Associated Press and Fox News have called for Arizona for Joe Biden, but no other outlets have yet. So we're going to closely continue monitoring this. Another very close race here, and this is looking really closely in here at Georgia, which is really kind of cool. I apologize. It's kind of more difficult if you're watching on Instagram to see, but I'm looking here and we can see where Joe Biden is extending his lead in the state. Really starting to see some magic, really a lot of changes here. And again, we're going to really just have to watch these results very closely. I want to pull up North Carolina as well, not Virginia, North Carolina, and show you that, just to give you an idea here of what we're looking at in North Carolina. North Carolina is also very close, but at this point in time, I do believe it's more likely to go to President Trump. If there's any of these states that President Trump could win, it's going to be likely to be North Carolina at this point in time. That does not give him the edge to being the next being president, continuing another 4 years in office, because he still wouldn't have enough votes. Again, this is still too early to call, but again, at the same time, Biden is really closing up on his lead here, and we're seeing more counties switch to Democrats. So can we see another upset here? Yes, it's absolutely possible, but we have to closely watch this, and we will wait and see what happens. Again, that's a really question mark situation there. Let's go out here and let's look at Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is another one where we're watching the Vice President Biden's lead extend in the center county threshold with 86% of the vote in. He is leading 51 to 47%. In Allegheny County, he's leading 59 to 40%, the vice president. Chester County, another one, 56 to 43%, over a double-digit lead for Vice President Biden. Same thing here in Montgomery County, same thing in Philadelphia County, same thing in actually much more close here in Northampton County. This just switched for Joe Biden, and we have now 95% of the vote in. This is another example of a district switching from red to blue. This is what we are expecting to see more of as the night goes on. Now for Pennsylvania, what we do know here at this hour with Pennsylvania, what we do know is that we expect to have all of their votes in by Friday. Also want to point out a couple of things here as I'm talking. I'm going to just mention this about Pennsylvania, which you are seeing here on your screen. In Pennsylvania, for our view that we have the president's campaign team has issued a lawsuit to the states of Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan. Those three states, he has issued lawsuits demanding that they stop counting ballots. That is illegal and unethical. That is not how a democracy works. So we, as we understand it from reports that we have read, that in Pennsylvania, they have said they will not. The Attorney General of Pennsylvania has said that he will not stop counting ballots. It is not legal to do that. It is illegal to stop doing that, and they will not. They are going to continue counting. As far as I understand, Georgia is also continuing to count their ballots. We're expecting more results in from Georgia and Arizona this evening, and I believe at any time we should be seeing CNN and all of these other major news outlets calling Arizona in the Joe Biden column. And I think by tomorrow morning, this Pennsylvania that you're looking at right now is going to look way different than what it is now. Just for the hell of it, I want to show you what some really dark blue states look like and what some really red states look like. And I did not mean to go to New Hampshire. I want to show you in a better example, Massachusetts, for example, here. And we have one county here in Massachusetts that does not have all of its votes in. That's 39% of the vote is reporting, and that's Franklin County in Massachusetts, where 75% is going for Joe Biden. This is an entire state here that is practically gone for Joe Biden. Looking at all of the different results here, you can see the different counties. Really, it's a different situation here when you look at a state like Massachusetts, which we know is a definitely a liberal threshold for the state, and no chance that the president would take that. On the flip side here, let's look at a state like Rhode Island. Similarly, again, completely blue. Let's go to a completely red state, for example, like the state of Idaho. And there was almost, well, actually, I take that back. This is the state of Idaho, and there is some blue areas in this state, and some areas where that could have made this change up a little bit. The end result was Trump did take this state by a large margin, but it still could have come down to it. Montana, another state over here, which does have liberal areas, Bighorn County, which really is big areas. Trump really came away lucky with the win here, because if it just happened to be, and I think we are still waiting on some results here, like Treasure County, but that's a small county, that if Trump could have lost this state too, and which would have been unlikely, but anything is obviously possible. Let's take a look at Louisiana, which is a predominantly red state here, as you can see. There are obviously there are parts of the state. Excuse me for a second. Oh God. There are parts of the state that are obviously blue thresholds, like Ibersville Parish results, where Biden took a lead here. I'm just giving this as examples. This is really for no reason here, but Biden came very close here too. Look at the end result, 40 to 58%. That could have changed too. I mean, there could have been a lot of different things to watch, but again, it didn't. Another state that was projected very highly winning in this state was Mississippi, where again, another deeply red state that really has seen a lot of conversion. Could we see something different here 4 years down the road? We'll have to watch this because there's a lot of blue support here for Biden, and that's really interesting to see. A lot of big support for Biden, but there's still a lot of counties without results that have come in yet. But these are small enough counties that they will not add up to giving Biden a win, and it's already been projected that President Trump will take this state. The state of Alabama, for example, another one. Again, it's a deeply red state, but there's a lot of blue in these small counties, and these small counties are mainly due to the fact, again, that these are small counties that Biden took away with, and it's clear that, again, if we saw more of this, and it just shows you the changing time. So I'm not going to focus it on this because I don't think it's relevant, but it is clear here for what we're seeing here that, and we're still waiting on one further county that has not come in yet in Michigan. That's Antrim County, but that's a small county, so that's why we're not calling it for Trump and Biden again taking the state of Michigan, as we said. And Wisconsin, again, the reason here in Wisconsin is deadly close. Let me show you those numbers here. In Wisconsin, you can see those numbers: 1,639,000. I'm sorry, 1,630,389 to President Trump's 1,609,809 and 1,609,879. Very close there, but not enough to for Trump to catch up to that, especially now that I think almost 99% of the results are in, so there are not enough ballots left to be counted that would give Trump the edge. Now, that said, in this state, we do know that that Trump's campaign has asked for a recount. We haven't heard further details on that, so we're going to have to closely watch that. I'm going to turn the cameras back to me here on both here so that I can be seen here. And again, it's important that we just emphasize that there's still a lot of data that we don't actually know yet, and we have to really continue that one Michigan county had to be a recount. I don't know for sure about that. I'd have to look into that. I don't think the results are in yet in that one Michigan county. I know that that's why it's at 99% of the results. So I think that we're going to have to closely watch that. There is still a lot really to watch, as I showed you here, and I'm going to show it again. The states that we're really watching here closely, these are the states that we need to pay attention to, and I have these up here on the screen: Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, which is leaning in the Democratic threshold, and Alaska. These are the states that we really have to watch closely. It is just too close to call on these states. I think, again, if I am to make a prediction, and this is my own prediction here, I do believe that we will see Arizona go for Biden. I think it's a very high likelihood that Biden will also take the state of Georgia and Nevada, and possibly also the state of Pennsylvania. We're going to really need to watch this closely to see exactly what happens, but I do think that's also a very possible close to thing to happen. Now, again, and I want to go back to this just to do my simulator now, that I don't think I want to do this one more time to those that that are tuning in. And I want to just also have a chance just to look here on the computer at our Facebook feed, if I can, because I do not have the ability to do it, and possibly Twitter too, if I have a minute. So, because again, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to see these live here. So, okay, no comments here on either of those two platforms. Oops, sorry about that. Let me just quickly check our Twitter platform. And I just want to see here, and we don't currently appear to have to see these. Sorry. Here are sorry. Okay. I'm trying to go. Oh, I don't want that. I don't need to see me full screen. I'm trying to get into this so I can see. I want to make sure we're not having audio here. Okay. All right. So, yes, if I'm checking our Twitter account. There is no comments over there yet either. So I'm just trying to, again, monitor everything here so I can see it. Again, to all of our accounts here, if you're watching from YouTube, if you're watching from Twitter, wherever you're watching from, if you are watching any of these channels, please do me a favor and leave a comment. I will gladly be checking these comments as soon as I can. I'm just trying to go through all of them right now so that I can monitor what's going on here. And I am just going through here quickly. Bear with me. I'm just going over to the cultural connections. Bear with me, and let's see here. Okay, and again, I'm here live on YouTube. There's no feedback over here yet. I just want to, again, continue to watch all of this so that I can keep track. If you have, again, comments, I'd love to know. And please let me know. And I'm going to keep watching these analytics as they come through again. So thank you for continuing to watch. Okay, thank you for that. It's interesting. I actually was unaware about that county in Michigan that they did release their votes, but are being told have had some counting errors and results that didn't match. So they pulled their results and started over. Okay, that makes sense, but I don't think that's going to change much of the results here for Vice President Biden. I think he is still clear to win the state of Michigan. Let's go over here back to road to 270 to win.com. And I'm going to show you again, just to go through the probabilities of like rolling the dice, but it's not a high percentage. It won't affect the Michigan results overall, I'd say. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying too. All right, let's go back over here and I'm going to show my screen one more time. And I'll show it on Instagram too. So you at home and Instagram users can see what I'm looking at too. I think this is what I wanted. Yes. Okay. So now let me turn this around so our Instagram users can see here. As I was talking about, and I'm going to do this again to show you the states that are currently outstanding at the moment. If we're to officially go with the states that are outstanding at the moment, this is what remains technically in play. There are 56 electoral votes remaining in play. Now, let's give a hypothetical here. Again, unlikelihood here, but what happens, let's say, if Biden takes the state of Alaska? Okay, that brings him to 256. I'm going to say a percentage here. Yep, he's going to take the state of Arizona. And then let's say what's left there, he takes the state of Nevada. He's over 270. He wins the election. Now, what happens if President Trump takes Georgia and Pennsylvania? He's at 265. He still does not have, obviously, enough to get to 270, even if he wins Georgia and Pennsylvania. Now, what happens if President Trump wins Arizona? Then, yes, he would have enough to get to 270. But right now, again, it does not look likely that is going to happen. I do believe that Biden will take Arizona. I do also believe we're going to see this. I'm going to switch this back. This is my prediction here, folks, that you're about to see. I do believe that Vice President Biden is going to take, he's going to take Pennsylvania, and I believe he's going to take the state of Georgia as well. I do believe that that's what's going to happen. I'm also going to make this more of a wild card here with the 15 additional votes because I think North Carolina could still swing either way. It is really tight over there. I'm going to check the latest numbers over there in just a minute. I don't know if much has changed. But let's say, for example, Biden takes North Carolina. That just adds to 321 to 217 for Biden. And that is something that is certainly possible to happen. There's nothing saying that it can't happen. It's certainly possible. So we'll just have to watch that closely. Let's go over and look right now at the results coming in North Carolina one more time. And then what I'm going to do here is we'll probably do another live update tonight at around, I know it's getting late. It's 11:18 here on the East Coast. I will probably do another live video around 12:30 a.m. I think probably going to do it on like I'm doing now with all of our platforms. I think it makes it best so everyone has access to seeing every single video. As of right now, this is where things stand. Vice President Trump has extended a little bit on his lead with 97% of the vote in with North Carolina. I do want to just get an idea here. Hold on a minute. I'm going to switch my sites here for a minute because I do want to see. I'm going to switch over to ABC News, which is another reliable platform. And I do want to. I'm hold on a second. I'm trying to. Hold on. See full results. That's what I'm looking for here. Sorry. Okay. I just want to see here with. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, North Carolina. How many votes are left here in North Carolina? And that is not giving me the vote total that I wanted. I need NBC News's vote tally instead, actually. Let's go over here. Let's see here. With North Carolina. Okay. So with North Carolina right now, there is 96% of the vote with around 292,412 votes remaining in the state of North Carolina. What can we expect from the state of North Carolina? Well, again, at this time, it's still really, really close, but it does appear that Biden's lead is slipping in this state. That is my projection right now. Prediction here that I think that President Trump will probably take the state of North Carolina. Again, looking at these numbers though coming in, we're watching as Joe Biden has a strong lead in Raleigh, North Carolina, with 62.5% of the vote. Greensboro County, another big county, and Joe Biden has that strong lead. Another big county is Buncombe County. Again, another strong threshold for Biden. So we're watching this closely as a lot of these districts are switching. However, it is a highly, at this point, unlikelihood, I think, to see Joe Biden take a lead in the state to take the win in Pennsylvania. I think it's something that we're going to just have to really watch closely. I don't think Biden has the probability of winning this state. Let's go back to Pennsylvania right now and look at the latest numbers that are coming in over here. And again, this hasn't changed much, but Biden is really closing in on that. I'm going to I got to plug my phone in here. Sorry, folks, we are paused there on Instagram. I don't want to lose our Instagram users, so we got to plug the phone in. As you can see here, that we are still here looking here at Pennsylvania. You can see here where those numbers show President Trump with really his lead is narrowing into Biden, who is really catching up. Look at that, 3,051,555, and President Trump's 3,215,969. So there's still a lot to be counted here. How many votes are left? 801,292. That's why we say that we do believe from what we are seeing and the trend that we're seeing is that it is a very strong possibility that Biden could take the state of Pennsylvania. I'm not projecting that. I am predicting that. So I want to just emphasize on that. Yes, I know our Instagram viewers don't want to be lost. I appreciate that. So that is that. Let's go over now, and I'm going to switch back on Instagram. I'm going to show you again with the state of Nevada, which before I do that, I want to just check here. Yes, so the results here are still the same. We have not gotten any additional results here in Nevada, so I don't expect. Again, I believe our results in Nevada there'll be more results and there's an announcement from Nevada expected tomorrow morning at around 9 a.m., 9:30 Eastern. We will try to bring that to you live, so stand by for that. We will have that for you, so stay with us for that. As for now, we're going to take a break and continue to analyze data. At around our next live update will be coming your way around 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. So that's an hour from now, roughly about. We'll see if there's any new additional data information, and that will be the last live for tonight. And then tomorrow we'll be back at it again for continuing election coverage. We will not stop until there is a result, until there is a winner announced in this 2020 presidential election. So thank you again for continuing to stay with Cultural Connections for our continuing coverage of the 2020 election.
Cultural Connections Podcast. This is a special edition of the Cultural Connections Podcast, the 2020 election. Join us this evening as we digest the election results, analyze the data, and make some bold predictions. This is the Cultural Connections Podcast 2020 Election Edition.